Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, we're going to games my mom found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's in a Twisted Metal clone me tonight?
This is Kendall.
Yes. Are you no nickname? Hi,
Kendall. Yeah, I don't have it. I mean, this isn't a. Well, I guess it's a Star Wars. No, I'm Kendall. I'm Kendall on this show.
Hi, I'm Trey, not Sebulba Johnson, fake Sebulba, whoever that guy is. Witness, what was his name? Bookness, the guy that's in there that looks like Sebulba, but Sebulba.
Yeah.
Huh, that's good. I don't know either. I don't remember their names.
I got my manual right here next to me, so I can double check on the names of these wonderful, unforgettable characters that are in here. I actually have two.
I mean, a lot of characters actually. So yeah. So we're here to talk about Star Wars.
What we got. That's what we got. Not Sebulba. Pugwis. It's almost as funny as Jizbig.
So this game developed by Lux, published by LucasArts, and came out for PlayStation and Dreamcast back in 2000. This game is 25 years old, or will be with this year.
Yeah, was it like towards the end? I didn't check the actual release date on it.
November. I didn't until just now. I always start these off with our memories. I had never played this game before. I didn't even know this game existed, I think, until you guys started talking about it. So I didn't even know.
This game
more Kendall than me. I didn't have a. Yeah, I'll get into it.
So
you say.
Yeah. So this game is like super important to me. You know how like you have like memories from your childhood that you generalize as if there's like 100 different examples, and then when you actually think back, there's like 2 examples. So I always tell this anecdote that when I was a kid, there was a Star Wars version of every video game, and every one of those was better. And if I really think back on it, there's like 3 examples. I mean, like Dark Forces is a Doom clone, but I actually didn't really play it that much as a kid. There's Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds is an Age of Empires clone, and one of my all-time favorite games. And then you've got Star Wars Demolitions, which is a clone of, according to my friend Nick, who owned this game as a kid and knows more about video games than me. He claims that this is a closer clone to Vigilante 8 than Twisted Metal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's interesting because the company, like the developers, actually did Vigilante 8. So
okay. So that would make
closer to that. But Vigilante 8 is also like pretty much a clone of.
So it's a clone of a clone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that weird looking dude from wasn't that the Clone Wars one where they had like the clone of the clone, like with the stormtroopers? He was like the janitor, the one that was kind of.
I don't think he's a clone of a clone, but he's like a I know what you mean. I think
he just got messed up or something. I don't know.
He did. Yeah. He had some mutation or something. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I
wasn't sure if they ever fully went into that or not. Cloning clones, maybe.
But the thing is, I still, even though there are fewer examples of it than I make it sound like when I tell the narrative. This is one of them, and it was a game where my best friend Nick, growing up, he had Vigilante 8, and I fucking hated that game. And then we popped in Star Wars Demolitions, and I loved it. And yeah, it's such a cool game. It is the first time that I learned who Aurra Sing was, and Aurra Sing is one of my favorite characters in all of Star Wars. It does represent a very specific time in Star Wars history where it was there was like a lot of content post Episode 1, pre-Episode 2, where you have original trilogy themes and then peppered in some Episode 1 stuff that I think is really neat. I love the idea that the reason that this game exists is that the Empire outlawed pod racing.
So
they do these demolition derbies where they try to murder each other, and that's because that's safer.
Well, that's because Darth Vader might like leave the Empire and come back to do pod racing, so they have to outlaw it. Otherwise, he's going to get tempted to go back and like be the best racer there is, because now he's older. He can make better like pod racers. He can do it, So Emperor's like, all right, so everything that Darth Vader liked, we got to get rid of it, so he won't get tempted.
Yeah,
that's the most reasoning the game, even more reason than the game gave. So
the game just says it was outlawed.
That's
right?
kind of my headcanon where I went for that, where I was like, well, Darth Vader can't he shouldn't want to do it anymore, right?
I think there was a novel where Anakin, it was either the one that was the prequel to Episode 2 or the one that was the prequel to Episode 3, where Anakin goes back and wins a pod race as an adult.
Oh, sure. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I think in one of the newer Marvel comics, actually, they like Darth Vader like meets the fucking kids, the like so wizard kids or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like for a second, I don't remember if he killed them or not, but I do remember him showing up and not knowing who he was or whatever. But
Oh yeah. In the I don't think he kills him. Or maybe
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't
think they got
remember.
killed, but they show up in
I
one of
read the
Darth
comic.
Vader comics.
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Marvel
I think
one.
like Kitster, it's the one where it's the Greg Pak or Greg Rucka run, the post Empire Strikes Back one where you also see one of Padme's handmaidens, I think.
Yeah,
I think is when that shows up.
Is it supposed to be the one played by Keira Knightley in the original movie?
No, I think it's a different one.
I don't remember
think.
what her name. Well, her name's Sabe, right? In the comic.
Yeah.
I don't remember who from the
yeah.
funny movie. The comics are really good.
Voices.
Actually. I like the new Marvel comics a lot. The new Star Wars Marvel comics have been fun.
I have to be in the right mood for. If I'm in the right mood for them, then they're great. My criticism of a lot of the Disney era supplemental stuff, both the comics and the novels, is that because Disney has to make all the movies and all the shows, they can't really have anything happen in them.
Sure,
So there's an element. So some of them end up feeling a little watered down, more so than the expanded universe stuff. But there have been some good stuff too. The High Republic stuff was great, and I just read that the Living Force novel like 6 months ago or so, and it was really good. But Star Wars Demolition.
Yeah,
And before we move on, Trey, what is your history with it?
Oh, I was gonna say mostly I just like the Darth Vader stuff and the regular Star Wars. I didn't read much of the High Republic, but I mean they can't kill anybody, but they still do stuff. They're like, oh yeah, no, actually Darth Vader and Luke met like 100 times before they fought each other in Empire. Like they had all sorts of shit in there. So I don't know. I thought it was pretty fun. But yeah, Star Wars Demolition. So I was trying to remember like what year it was exactly. It was definitely because I moved to Chicago in 2002 and I lived in Chicago at the time. So maybe it was like 2003 or 4. But my brother, my oldest stepbrother, had like bought a Dreamcast. And whenever I was at my mom's house, he's like, I don't want my Dreamcast anymore. Do you want it? Like he's like, it's just the system. Like I don't have the cables or whatever, so it's worthless. So I'll just give it to you for free. And I was like, okay, awesome. So then I remember I went to like a used video game store and I bought like cords for like $5, and now I have a Dreamcast for $5. So it was very exciting to me because I always kind of wanted one but could never afford it, and it was like grass is always greener or whatever, that sort of thing. Like because I was always mostly Nintendo stuff, and I got a Dreamcast, and I was like, awesome. All right, well let's go buy all the games that I really want for cheap. And yeah, and one of them was this. One of them was Star Wars Demolition. I think I bought Jedi Power Battles also, and I think the game that I got that I liked the most actually was Soul Reaver, but that's not a Star Wars game. But that game was a lot of fun.
Good game though.
But yeah, actually my game broke like it stopped generating the world, and I got stuck in a cave and I couldn't move any farther. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, Star Wars Demolition, I got it. I got it on the cheap. I think my copy right here says $14.99. That might have been the actual price on it. But I bought it from some used game shop in Chicago, and yeah, I tried it out, and like the Twisted Metal games has always been kind of like a blind spot for me. Like I had friends in college that really liked them. I had a really hard time getting into those games, and liking those games. Really, I could never really wrap my head around car combat or whatever. I thought it was kind of boring. And yeah, at the time, I remember getting it and playing it, and being like, oh, this looks pretty good, but I don't know. I don't. It just doesn't do it for me. And I always played it single player. I never did it I never did multiplayer. I probably only had one controller too, so I probably couldn't even do that. But yeah, I only played it single player. I probably didn't know how to charge the weapons or whatever even then, And I remember just kind of fucking around with it and being like, all right, this game is so-so, on to the next one. And that was kind of my memories of it. I was like, well, maybe I'd like it more if I liked Twisted Metal, but I could never really get into those games. So, and I did play Vigilante 8 also on 64 because that was like at the time, only having a 64, that was like the only, Twisted Metal equivalent that you had at the time. So I remember renting it and being like, well, I don't really care for this one much either. So you would think like with the Star Wars, whatever association would help me get into it. But yeah, I kind of just thought it was whatever. And then I just set it to the side. And then later, my friend Artie gave me all of his Dreamcast games, and he also had Demolition. So I ended up with 2 copies of Demolition and 2 copies of Jedi Power Battle, just because he just gave me a stack of CDs and was like, "Here, these are all my Dreamcast games. Take them." And I was like, "Okay." He did have was a Dead or Alive game that was really cool that was in there that he gave.
That's good.
I do want to go ahead and make the argument as to why this is better than Vigilante 8. Specifically, I've never actually played a Twisted Metal game, so Twisted Metal may have its act together more so. There's two reasons why this is better. One of them is related to it, the Star Wars theming. But,
I knew you were going to say that.
But sure. It's related to it, but it's not just the Star Wars theming. Vigilante 8 is a bunch of different cars. And literally, like, my wife and I used to joke that I'm car blind. You know how some people have face blindness? All cars look the same to me. Like, if I'll be like, my wife drives a black Toyota Corolla hatchback. I'll be like, is that your car? And she'll be like, that's a Ford truck. That's a red Ford truck. Like I completely, I have, all cars look the same to me. When I see a car, I have no sense as to like whether it should be fast or slow or whatever. And so I loaded up, I did my due diligence today and I loaded up Vigilante 8 and I picked a car and I could not control it. I eventually figured out which button was fire, but by that time I was dead. And then I loaded up a different car that had like opposite stats and I couldn't do it. And it like triggered one of, you know, like how you play like these games. Like I have this thing where like, I always remember being bad at certain games and then I revisit them as an adult and I'm like, no, I wasn't the bad one. The game was the bad one. And like, cause I remembered like, I wouldn't be able to turn. I wouldn't be able to control the car. I would constantly end up like wedged against a wall. Like the controls were just awful. And in Star Wars Demolitions, I feel like I never had an issue steering. I could get my car. I played as Aurra Sing. I didn't put 20 hours into this or anything, but I played a decent amount, enough to win a tournament and everything as Aurra Sing. And I felt like you don't have to be like I could just turn. I didn't have to be like jetting while I turned. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like the controls were really tight. And then related to that is that this isn't speeder bike combat. Like there's not 10 different kinds of speeder bike. There's a speeder bike and a snow speeder and a walker and a pod racer and a rancor and a dude in a jetpack. Like you can go it ranges from like a dude in a jetpack to like a giant tank. Yeah. That is Boba Fett. It's not. It actually is Boba Fett in this.
It's
not
Boba Fett.
Cast.
Well, Django didn't exist yet.
Right. Yeah, and it's not Jodo Cast because but Django would have been dead by this point.
Yeah,
the Empire era.
Oh yeah, I don't even remember. But Darth Maul is in there just because. Why not?
Right. Yeah, well, Darth Maul's unlockable, so he's not canon. Right.
Well,
I mean, to be fair, he did survive. Well, no, he was dead by then, but he did survive later than Episode 1.
Well, did this take place BBY or ABY?
You follow the new Disney stuff, you could say that he was alive. I mean, I don't think it's a video game; it doesn't matter.
So
this is not canon.
Actually, he did get brought back in Clone Wars, which was in the old continuity. He actually never died, so technically he could have still been alive in the old continuity, which this would have been the old continuity. Yeah. If you want to get technical about that.
I mean, he was too cool of a character to kill off in one movie. You know, they should have kept him around.
No, yeah, I agree. And I think that the stories that they've told with him after they brought him back are better than are some of the best stories in all of Star Wars. But like there's just, it's so cool, all the different elements of Star Wars, just like Masters of Terraskazi was this variety of like, you know, all your banging all your different action figures against each other. I really appreciated that, and I think they did. I mean, again, it's not a game I want to put 20 hours into, but I think they did a pretty good job of, you know, you got a snowspeeder, you get a tow cable, you play as Aurra Sing, you get to have a sniper rifle, you play as whatever other characters, you get their special things. I think, you know, I think they did a pretty good job of it for what it is. I mean, yeah, it's not a all-time great game, but it's pretty good for that era.
You can like pile drive, or you can like power bomb people with the Rancor, which is pretty funny. Even though the Rancor will break some levels. Like I was, you know, I played through the tournament mode a couple times with a couple different characters, and I never saw the fucking Death Star level. I was like, I want to see the stupid Death Star level. So I just set up a battle where I could pick whatever level that I played. And I played as the Rancor on the Death Star level. And I don't know, maybe because he's like too tall and walking around, I kept like clipping through stuff, and I turned to metal at one point and disappeared through a wall, and I got flung completely off of the Death Star at the end, which was fucking amazing. And I was like floating through because the Death Star is just flat, it's not like a circle. So you fly off to the side of it, and then my character was just floating through space, just towards the stars. And then it just kind of just blacks out and it ends. And it was like, oh, wow, okay. I was like, I guess the Rancor broke the Death Star, or like that in particular. That was when I ran into the most glitches with it. Everything else seemed to work fine. But Rancor and the Death Star was just fucking up everywhere.
GMS.
But the Rancor's, the Rancor's cool. Like, it took, like, I put, like, maybe about 2.5 hours into this game. Like, I didn't play it for 20 hours either, which I figured I didn't have to. It's pretty...
No.
Right. It's an
easy. Like, it's not an RPG or whatever. You don't need to
put more points in its favor, especially, especially now when you're not paying. I think even when it came out, I think it was a budget title.
Sure. Yeah, I played it last night for an hour, and I didn't understand how to do anything. Like, it didn't understand how to charge your weapons or whatever. I'm just going around shooting people just with my lasers, and I'm like, why can't I kill anybody? I was like, why doesn't Darth Maul have lightsabers? Like, what the hell is going on with this game? And then I watched like a couple review videos of it just to see, and I was like, oh, okay, you can charge this, you can hold the trigger button and charge your weapons, and then it got a hell of a lot easier once I figured that out. I was like, okay,
it's a combination of things. So I played it a couple times. One before I didn't know how to charge, and I couldn't get past like the second level, so I just couldn't hurt anybody. Then I knew you could charge, but I had you can set the do and you do voodoo, and I had it at low, and that is not a good idea. So I put it at high, and then the game actually was kind of fun, so the people would actually die quickly.
Oh, okay.
I
never really messed around with that. It was just set at medium, and I left it there. I did turn down the difficulty to easy because, like I said, I couldn't figure out how to kill people. So it was like, I was like, well, this is dumb. But I did play, like I said, I did play the Dreamcast version, and it does look pretty good. Like, I watched footage of the PlayStation one, which looks okay too, but the Dreamcast one looks better.
It looks cleaner.
It's cleaner, and it runs it like, runs pretty well, 60 frames. Unless you're the Rancor on the Death Star, but at most places, 60 frames, so it did like kind of dip a little bit, but it looks pretty nice. There's a little bit of like, the draw distance isn't great, but I mean, who cares? It's like a 2000 game.
It wasn't too bad.
Fine to me. Besides
the Naboo level is fucking awful. Other than that, it was fine. And the Naboo level, like the issue was I couldn't see the stairs until I got close, realized where they were.
Did we all?
You were playing the PlayStation version, right?
Yes. What version? So
I played the version.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The Dreamcast is much better. I mean, it's almost like the Dreamcast is more powerful than the PS1.
Oh yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
Couldn't you tell? Remember the sales?
The only level I really hated was Dagobah. I fucking hate that level because like if you wait in the water for too long, the creatures like start eating you. So you can only like stay like above. You have to stay on the ground, and like every time I played tournament mode, it would start with Dagobah, and I was just so fucking tired of that level. I was like, oh my god, Dagobah, get out of here. It's annoying.
I don't think I did Dagobah.
I found that there were other levels than Dagobah. Eventually, you didn't have to.
I mean,
that one. I mean, it's
no, I don't think I did.
Swampy.
I only played
stay in the water for
through the game one because I hated it. I thought this game was utter garbage for most of my playthrough, and I tried it a couple times. I tried to do tournament mode a few times, and I was playing. First, I tried the land speeder, but I had the settings wrong. I didn't know how to charge, and I tried Boba Fett, and he just sucked.
Boba Fett was my worst character to play against. I fucking hate him because he does that move where you get like stuck in the air, and it
he can paralyze you.
You can't move. But if you play as Boba Fett, you can be pretty OP. Like I got through most of the tournament. The
facts I read on him said that his attack power was like crazy high. Like all his other stats are terrible, but his attack power is like crazy high.
That's the one thing that made the game a little bit made it more interesting to me. Once I figured out that everybody has their own like special attack where you can charge your main gun and use that. Like that's just basically what I did on everything. And also you can charge your missiles and stuff, which I didn't know that until like the last
you have to
because moves the final blows or whatever. And I did a couple final blows with Boba Fett, so I did get some of them to work. Where you have to charge your secondary weapon and your regular weapon, and then like when they're after you blow them up, it says like finish them or whatever, and then you charge them both. And then you have another animation for that. So I did do that.
So you mentioned in our messenger thread, and I can't find, like I said, I can't find my copy. I think I actually, because I had borrowed it from my friend Nick, and then we did a podcast about it. I may have loaned it back to him. But anyway, I couldn't find my copy tonight. But is this stuff covered in the manual?
I mean, probably I'm guessing, like, I did look, like, when you said read the manual, I thought you were talking about the stories of the characters, because they don't really say anything about them. They're just there.
Oh, yeah. No.
But as far as, like, how to play, I would hope so. You know, I didn't really, I mean, I have it right here, but I would guess.
Yeah,
we're kind of
I feel like this yeah. I feel like this era, like the PS1, Dreamcast, N64 era, especially there's a lot of PS1 games that are like just complicated enough because they have a bunch of extra buttons on the controller that they're not used to when they're making the game, and they're, it's just complicated enough and we don't have the gaming conventions that we have now, where every game uses the 2 thumbsticks and so you kind of have to. I think these games were designed to actually have you read through the manual before you start 100%. Playing them, and so when you go back to them, and I brought it up on previous episodes. I think it's
like Rogue Squadron when we did that one. You have to learn about saving your missiles or whatever. Yeah, it's right here on page 11. It says each weapon can be charged for a more powerful attack. The higher the charge, the more weapon power will be used, and then it shows you different levels or whatever. So it's right here. What's cool is I actually have my mail-in registry on this thing still. Right here, the little cardboard thing.
So you can register it.
It's worth more, I guess, right? Because most people would take that out and send it in for I don't know what.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some people, yes.
Guide or something.
God, I don't understand why people are like, oh, it's got this. It's worth why? But then again, comics, like if it had the stamp, it was worth more money.
Stuff that most people would take out, or actually a friend of mine was just telling me that that if you collected comics from a comic store, that on the barcode it would say like direct edition or like store edition or whatever. He was telling me that the ones you buy from like a spinner rack at the grocery store is like is worth more than those.
Yeah, because they were rarer at a certain point.
There weren't as many out there, and most people with the direct editions were getting them from comic stores, so there's probably more out there.
I get it with comics, but with video games, to me, it's just stupid. But then again, that's just collector.
I mean, but if all the manuals don't have the registry in there, then the ones that do become more valuable.
Yeah, I guess, but it's incremental. It's also like they would be in whatever game in Earthbound. If you have all the little scratch and sniffs in Earthbound, it matters. I don't think that Star Wars Demolitions is a game that people are gonna be nitpicking. Now you might be able to like talk the guy behind the counter down $1 if it's missing something from the manual, but
Oh, I'm just trying to sell it for a lot on eBay. No, I'm not going to sell it. But
I don't think this game is going for a lot on eBay. I'm pretty sure.
That Flintstones game on NES is awful, but that game is super expensive.
Because it's rare.
Whether it's good or not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Having the registry might be rare. That's all, but it doesn't matter. So, who's your favorite character? Mike Wade Boggs, the baseball player. He's in here, right? The guy with the speeder, who's a Jedi. That's his name, right?
I didn't realize he was a Jedi until I watched some videos. Yeah, I tried him
with his soul patch. No, I just thought it's funny. His name's Wade Vox, but I was like, Wade Boggs, the baseball player. Cool, he's in here.
I don't even know who that is.
I think he was in the Simpsons episode with all the whatever baseball players. I know enough to recognize the name as that. I recognize Wade Boggs.
Okay.
Wade, even though I'm sure he's got.
There probably was a reference to it. I would not be surprised if somebody who was making up the names like, oh, we'll do this. Would be surprised one bit. Favorite character is Boba Fett, but I didn't like the way he played. I only beat the game because I took Kendall's recommendation and played as Aura Singh, and she wasn't bad. She killed.
Yeah, the sniper does because I beat it with who did I beat it? The first time I beat it with Darth Maul. Once I figured out how to do the lightsaber thing, which was cool, and then I went and I tried Aura Singh because you recommended her, and yeah, the sniper was even easier. And I was playing at a higher difficulty because I wanted to see the endings, because if you beat on easy, you don't see the endings. Which I did actually put the codes in.
I saw an ending.
Did you change the difficulty?
I had it. I set it to easy, I thought.
Oh, because I beat it on easy and I didn't get an ending. But
that might have just been a glitch. The game's like, fuck you.
And then I got an ending. I don't know. Unless Darth Maul doesn't have an ending.
He probably doesn't have an ending because he's a bonus character.
You can put a code in and watch all the movies. And I watched all of them, but I didn't know what was going on because I didn't read. But I don't remember if Darth Maul was in there or not.
Yeah, I forgot. I didn't think. Well, I've seen most of them. I mean, they're nice. They're fun little. It's a fun little snippet. If you're like Aura Singh's ending is that she's gonna murder Wade Vox.
Yeah,
she sees him. messing with his lightsaber, and she points her gun at him. But yeah, I like Aurra Sing so much. She's such a cool design. She gets 4 frames in Star Wars in Phantom Menace. You know, and she's had a bunch of stories. She was in they used her a bunch in the comics that came out around that time, and then she was in like Clone Wars, and she just she's got such a cool design. She's like 8 feet tall. She's got the big thing. She's a Jedi hunter. Like, I really like the idea of, these Jedi who are like crazy, they're crazy powerful wizards, and then there are just like these elite bounty hunters who, may or may not have a little bit of force powers behind them that hunt them down. And it's such a cool idea. I really like, it's like, I don't know, it's like something, it's like weirdly inspiring to see, like, and not just her, but like to see like when Jango Fett fights Obi-Wan on Kamino in Attack of the Clones, or
because we didn't
other
have
times
that.
when it's like when you see these these people who are, it's like there are other badasses in the galaxy besides the ones with laser swords. It's
I like that
cool thing.
Aurra Sing's in here. I mean, also I think it's cool because like you said, at the time she literally just had that one appearance and that was it. I guess she was supposed to be in Attack of the Clones at one time, and then it got cut and changed.
So,
but like we didn't know who she was, and to have her in this game, I think it's kind of cool. I mean, she does become a decent character. She's in Clone Wars a whole bunch. She does die in canon. She died in 13 BBY. I didn't look up how or care, but she's dead.
Was it in? I mean, it wasn't on the show, right? Was it like in?
I don't remember if it's in the show or somebody says it. Someone said they killed her.
BBY would be, none of the shows were around that time, because that's like a couple years after the Clone Wars. It would have been. I mean, it would have had, the only show that would have even been close would have been Bad Batch.
Beckett claimed that he killed her in the Solo
that makes
movie.
Sense.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense, because Solo would have been about 10 years.
So yeah, that's BBY. Where she's referenced that she died. But yeah,
so
that's
we don't know for sure. That's not confirmed.
No, maybe it would have been confirmed in another movie. Oh wait, Solo never got a sequel.
Sure.
She randomly shows up in the expanded universe. She randomly, I think it's one of the Fate of the Jedi novels. She like goes on she tags along with Han and Leia on meandering, meaningless Millennium Falcon excursions.
What I want to know is this answer. So we get to play as the bounty hunters that like Billy D and Carrie Fisher dress up as. That's the actual bounty hunters, right? That's not them. Like, you're actually playing as Bausch or whoever the other dude is. Because they're in there.
Tamtal Screech. Yeah.
Like it's not like Princess Leia. Like it's whoever else. What's the other dude?
Tamtal Screech is the other one.
Taintel? What? Tamtel?
Tamtel, Tamtell, Screech.
Wow.
Yeah. I know that because of Star Wars cards.
You can put the worst names ever. Star Wars games. Yeah. But these are supposed to be is it Lando, or is it, because he's still black? I mean, I don't know. Like it's supposed to be Lando dressed as him, but you didn't want to say this is Lando. This is Lando's other what he dressed up as his Return of the Jedi. That's what I was kind of confused on. If it's supposed to be bounty hunters they were impersonating, or it's them. It never really says. Like, if you beat it with Bausch, I guess she releases some of the slave ladies or whatever from Jabba's place.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I guess like when you beat it with Lando, he does like let Han Solo out, right? So it's I guess that's kind of confusing on the timeline too, why these ones are in there. And also, if you want them to be in there from the original trilogy, why didn't you just say pick Lando or pick Princess Leia instead of?
Because they're lying to Jabba the Hutt.
I guess, but I mean,
and that ugly Jabba the Hutt, that title screen. Oh my god! I don't know. I mean, you got a point. Why not do the bounty hunters or the other characters that aren't, the heroes? I mean, because I don't know. I mean, I think it's supposed to be Bosch and them, but I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
I was kind of wondering.
Hey, I looked at Wikipedia. Didn't tell me either.
Yeah, it's just
it's weird. This game doesn't have a lot of canon that people know. Who would have guessed?
Well, it's also which are the endings canon?
Done.
Are the good endings or the bad endings the canon endings?
I mean, there needs to be a sequel. There needs to be a Demolition 2, and then you can find out who lived or not. I mean, I'm watching the end of not Lando's ending, and he does like walk up to frozen Han Solo. So that's got to. So I guess that's
it's probably Lando then.
So just call him Lando. I mean, I
Yeah.
mean, sure, I know he has a different name, but I'm just saying for the fans, for the fan service, just be like
The only people that would know that name are the people that played the Star Wars card game, and that's not a huge amount of people.
Well, the only reason I know Bausch is because that's what her name is in the Super Return of the Jedi game. That's where I learned it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bausch is a little more commonly known.
Yeah.
That's
that
character has
I have
stuff.
that toy. I have the Lando toy, but I didn't remember who he's dressing up as or whatever his alternate bounty hunter name was.
Yeah, I don't think he's one that got named in the card game, but yeah,
he got named.
But Kendall knew.
I know. I definitely have. He's a Jabba's Palace rare. He's a spy. He's doesn't see any play.
I still think Pugwish should have been Sebulba. I mean, Sebulba didn't get killed. Like, he's still around. He could have been in this game.
But it could have been a thing where they didn't know characters were going to be used, so they were being kind of iffy who they used. I mean, almost everyone in here is a brand new character. We know that can't be by accident.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
So,
maybe they didn't.
okay.
Well, I mean, aside from Lando and Princess Leia and Boba Fett.
Well,
and
yeah,
So Tamsel Screech and Bausch. Okay. So Tamsel Screech pushes the button to get ready to like prep the unhibernating process for Bausch. Yeah, so that is Leia and Lando, definitely. That's interesting.
Huh, I wonder why they did that. But because I know that character. Like, I know she's in other stuff, and now I know there's comic canon of how how Leia gets the suit and everything. She
get killed? She gets killed right before Shadows of the Empire, and that's how they get the costume.
In the old canon, yes.
Yeah, because Shannon isn't part of the
canon now.
Well, this is the old canon.
Yeah, so Shadows.
Has she been introduced in the new canon?
I'm pretty sure.
I know that in the Tamsel Screech costume is in Solo, but I don't remember seeing Bausch. I mean, not a lot has. They haven't done a lot with original trilogy era stuff in the new canon, outside of the comics, and I don't think it was in the comics.
Okay, this is harder to figure out than I thought it would be.
I think Darth Maul
me actually reading things.
I think Darth Maul doesn't have an ending, like everybody else does. Like all the other unlockable characters have endings, but Darth Maul doesn't. Or at least I didn't find it in this video I was scrubbing through here.
I mean, he's not even in the game unless you put in the code.
Bausch is a man, not a lady. Okay, then you also have Dr. Afra comics.
I was just
okay. I knew he was somewhere in the comics. I assume with Darth Maul, just because he was a secret character with a button combo, they didn't give him an ending. So
yeah, I mean, but Bausch was secret. I'm just saying the other secret characters had endings. So.
But it could have been a thing where they weren't allowed to because maybe they didn't know what maybe Lucas plans with Darth Maul sooner, and they were like, you can't give him any information because we might do something with him.
Maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going off of who's listed in the manual here, and the ones that aren't listed are the secret characters. So Bausch isn't in here. Isn't in the manual.
I don't remember if that's a secret. I didn't mess enough with this game to really care.
When I first started, I put in the Watto shop as the code to unlock everybody. So I just wanted to see who.
So Leland Chi, the keeper of the Holocron continuity data, stated that the game was made purely for fun, not to fit within the continuity of the expanded universe. So it was not even in continuity then.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't really care about it. I mean, that's back in the 2000s when people cared less about canon or whatever. In the 90s was even better. When I was 15, we never even said canon unless we were talking about the Bible.
Now look at us.
I still don't care. I mean, I like Shadows of the Empire. It's still real to me.
Same.
It's just as real as Santa Claus, or any of that Star Wars.
I mean, it's all fake.
So it doesn't matter.
It's that it's that quote.
Story.
I think it's a mirror. All Star Wars works are a mirror into the Star Wars universe, or a window into the Star Wars universe. But some windows are foggier than others, and I like that. I mean, to me, there's two main continuities. There's the current canon and the old expanded universe. But then I also I like stuff that that contradicts that stuff. It's fun. The old Marvel comics, the 70s Marvel comics are don't exactly fit in with the canon that was established in the Thrawn trilogy. Recently I've discovered that people on Reddit have something called the Denning-verse, where they kind of consider the stuff when Troy Denning took over with Legacy of the Force and Fate of the Jedi to be kind of its own thing. Because that was if anybody that got mad that that Disney reset the continuity, that's the reason they did, because continuity was a mess in 2011. And
Okay.
thanks
Did not
in
know
part
all
to
this.
Troy Denning. Yeah.
Okay. Another thing I want to bring up is I haven't played any Twisted Metal or Vigilante 8 games in a very, very long time. But I guess the combat is fine once you know how it works. I don't know. I found the game just not that fun, but maybe I just don't like this type of game too.
Yeah, when did you said you haven't played a Twisted Metal game in a while, like any of them?
Over 20 years.
Yeah, so I guess you probably haven't done any episodes on it or whatever.
No, we haven't touched any of that.
No,
we were supposed to, but that never happened.
Yeah, it's like, does anybody, I don't know. I guess in my circle, not a whole lot of people talk about it really anymore. Like, I had a roommate that was really into it, but yeah, it's like, do people talk about Metal? Maybe some PlayStation more.
Well, the series,
super fans or whatever.
They left to die, so that's a big part of it.
I mean, the TV show is like starting season 2, like now.
Yeah, but I mean, the games, they haven't really been a new game in a while, pretty sure.
Yeah, there was like a PlayStation 3 one or something, right? That was supposed to be all right. And the
last one I ever played was Twisted Metal Black for PS2, so a long time ago. This game tried.
PlayStation All Stars.
It's Sweet Tooth.
Samoa Joe.
When I played Vigilante 8 this afternoon, one thing that Vigilante 8 did that was a little bit better was it felt more chaotic. I think that this game would have benefited if it was. This game felt very methodical, like you're driving around, power up, you look on your scanner and find one of the other dudes, and then you drive towards the dude and you sort of do it's almost like a joust. It's like you're going at each other, you're seeing who can shoot the best and who can dodge a little bit, and then you go past them and then you turn around. And part of that was because I was playing as a speeder bike. But Vigilante 8, first of all, had I think 6 competitors instead of at most 4 or 5, and the stages were much smaller, so there was a lot more just chaotic running into each other, and that was not balanced well. I think it was too much in the other direction. But that is one thing that I think would have made this game a little more fun is if you had a little bit more of that Mario Kart style chaos, maybe some power-ups, maybe some rubber banding, more just, it's the kind of stuff that you would see in a modern, if they made a modern version of this.
You still got the missiles and shit that you get as power-ups.
Right. Right. Yeah, there's still a few power-ups, yeah.
I guess it's not random like you would with Mario Kart or whatever, but you still get shit you can.
Well,
not a lot.
There's 4 power-ups, right? There's some shieldy ones, but there's 4 weapony power-ups. There's the thermal detonators, maybe 5. Thermal detonators, missiles, proton torpedoes, and tractor beam, right? Is that it? I think that's just 4.
I can consult the manual for you. According to this, there's 4. Yeah, it's a proton torpedo, tractor beam, thermal detonator, and concussion missiles. And don't
thermal
forget
detonator is useless.
And I could not figure out how to use the tractor beam to I don't know what you were supposed to use that for.
Just hold it fully charges, and then when you drive near them, it shoots them away and hurts them. That's all I did with it. I never used it.
Shoots them away?
Is that what
it actually throws them away from you.
Yeah, I would just hit it, and I never charged it. I would just click it, and then it would just show me where somebody was, and I thought they were getting pulled toward me, and I'd just go over there and shoot them. But I mean, that's all I did. But I did get pushed away by other enemies in the game.
Kind of. I don't know. It was a kind of move more skilled. I'd be better with it. But yeah, if there were more, and if there were some that were really, really good, and some that were that Smash Brothers vibe, If there was a little more chaos, I think the game, and also, and just in general, the probably could have been a little smaller, maybe more and this was another thing. Vigilante 8 had you could shoot a thing and it would explode and hurt the car next to it, that kind of thing. These levels were a little spare, a little empty. I think that's an area that it could have. But this, it's minor stuff that probably has more to do with the era it came out. I'd love to see. They did re-release it for Switch a few years ago.
Not Switch.
I'm wondering.
Not Switch.
Not Switch?
No, it's not on Switch.
It's not on Switch?
Vigilante 8, right?
I have
Demolitions.
Neither of them. I have all the Star Wars. Well, I have all the Star Wars games on Switch, minus Jedi Power Battles and KOTOR 2. But no, it wasn't released on Switch. It's probably on PS4 and 5, I think, is what you're thinking. But it's not.
It is, yeah. Yeah,
okay.
It's on PS1 of those systems.
saw somebody online talking about trophies, that you can get trophies from it. So I was like, oh, it must be on PS4 or 5.
Yeah, they
But
brought
no, it
it
didn't make it to Switch.
back out. I mean,
Did they
it's
add
probably
like
because
online
they
multiplayer or anything?
they own the rights a little bit or something. Who knows?
Oh, is it even a remaster?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I think it's just
wait. Here we go. I'll just pull it up on the PlayStation Store.
Yes, it's it might be the PS1 version. Might just be.
It's $5. Yeah, it is for PS4 and PS5. Thought it said. See, it said something in the description before I clicked it.
probably a PS1 classic or something.
Let's see. Yeah, Star Wars Demolition, free on premium, $5. Yeah, it's probably It looks like a PlayStation.
Here we go. Originally released on PlayStation console, enhanced with up rendering, rewind, quick save, and custom video filters. Okay, so it's just an emulated version of the game. Okay, I was thinking because I guess Jedi Power Battles has a bunch of extra characters and like a big head mode.
Yeah, well, that one's is called an enhanced version or remastered version, whoever inspired at that.
Well, I was hoping that this one was that, and then it would have all the things that I wanted, and then I'd be able to go buy it, and it would be $5, and then I would be 22 again.
I mean, if they released a remastered version on Switch for not super expensive, I might give it a go. I didn't hate this one as much as the Tiramisu game from before, so it was fine enough. Like I said, I see the appeal of it just in just going through and trying all the different characters and trying out all their specific super moves or whatever. I think that's cool, or finding final blows, or there's enough in there for that. If you want to see the twisted metal style endings and all that are in there, or there's bad endings too. If you quit at any time while you're in the tournament, you'll see that, which I saw that for a couple people too. So I mean, there's stuff to be had in there, that you can fuck around with or whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. Yeah, and it's also I really like some of these older games when you can just lose an afternoon to it and then feel like you did your diligence. It's like reading a very small book. Like a year or two ago, I got the Fight Club novel, which is 100 pages or something like that, and I just read it in an evening, and I was able to get that dopamine hit of finishing a book. I mean, that's the whole reason that Mike does this podcast, is so that he can play lots of short games, and I mean that's what this is.
Let's play a part.
Some things, right? Yeah, some depending. Yeah.
Some games I enjoy more than others.
I read the Fight Club sequel in comic form. Have you read that? That's pretty fucking weird.
I haven't, but I've heard it was pretty good.
Written by the same guy. I mean, yeah, it's out there. I mean, I finished it. I bought them all when they were released. It's interesting.
Why is Darth Vader in one of these endings?
Because he's not dead yet. Because he's not dead yet, right? And whatever time. I mean, as they said, the developer said, they're just having fun with it, right? It's hey, let's just do whatever. And yeah, the endings are kind of funny because most of the time you get fed to the Rancor, or or whatever, or sometimes the one dude with the stupid looking mustache that pilots the ATST, he gets taken to Darth Vader, right? The guy that looks like he's smiling at people at you all the time.
Quagga, no, not Quagga. Quagga is Quagga is the Wookiee that's in here that's piloting the AAT.
Whatever it's called.
Whatever the fuck it is.
From the Naboo, Battle of Naboo, right? That's episode 1.
Yeah, AAT. Not know that's what they're called.
Oh, I thought the tank was Wait, which one's the Jawa? Which one's the Jawa? Because I thought the Jawa
was skiff that has a battle droid on it. That's a Jawa remote controlling.
The skiff is the Jawa. Okay.
Yeah, the Jawa has the droid skiff thing.
Because every character has an ending when they lose, where they die essentially, and then they always have winning ending. So they all have two endings.
Well, you have to quit the tournament to see the ending. Is basically how it works. Because you can continue for, at least on the Dreamcast version, you can continue unlimitedly. So you have to physically quit, and then it'll show you the ending of losing the tournament. Did I cut out?
I mean, or you can just lose, or you give up. That's what I did.
We just were letting you talk.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't sure if you heard me. I don't know. It's been kind of the sound's kind of been off and on, so I wasn't sure if I cut out or not.
No, you're coming through fine.
I think it's kind of cool. They all have death endings and real endings. I didn't care enough to see any of them other than I saw Aura Singh's ending. I'm like, yep, I'm good. I beat the game. Let's delete this and never touch it again in my life.
Right. I mean, which is so much better than a 3-second clip from the movie that we got in Mass.
No, I agree. I'd rather have a new scene
than that one. Yeah, I mean, some of the
I don't need stuff.
The one guy's just drinking beer and burping, and it's like, okay, cool. That's all you need.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a ton. And I mean, this was if the game came out now, maybe it would be a 5-minute long ending, but
Yeah,
they don't need that.
They should try to. I mean, maybe I was like, maybe they don't do Twisted Metal games anymore because it's just too like one note. Like it needs to be more now because games need to have more than just you just do one thing, or maybe it would be an indie one that would just do like a car combat type thing. But I feel like that whole type of game kind of like just disappeared. I mean, you don't really hear a whole lot about new games that are like that where you just drive around and shoot.
Right. I mean, you could totally have. I mean, like they could make a friggin' Star Wars Outlaws and have a level this. I mean, it's a pretty basic, there's a lot of games that, I mean, actually Star Wars Outlaws is a really good example, has an amazing speeder bike mechanic. The speeder bike feels so good to do it. Make a speeder bike versus speeder bike combat level. You could easily do something like that there are definitely, you could definitely make in one of these giant sprawling campaign games, you could easily make a level and therefore a mini game, that is this, definitely.
And we should mention that this game has multiple modes. There's a tournament mode, there's free battle, essentially, I forget what it's actually called. There's hunt droids for some reason, where you just shoot probe droids.
Oh, yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, the droid thing, you just move around in any of the levels, and you try to blow up as many as you can in a time limit.
Yeah, that is a fun little mode. Yeah, I think I did that. I made a Star Wars card themed album a few years ago, and I made like basically a music video for every song. And the song that was about Darth Maul was for the music video I streamed flying around. I think Darth Maul was hunting droids, and it looked cool.
All right,
it's got a cool aesthetic.
I really hated Jabba in this though. I just, especially in that, I started saying the stage select screen. That fucking model is just fucking ugly. Awful.
I mean, I don't know. It did like where he like laughs at you before you go into the game or whatever. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
You got the dancing slave girl or whatever.
I didn't like the way he looked. It bothered me.
I did like the 2D fans that are like in the background are kind of cool, and you can like in Hoth you can find the Wampa in the background, and it'll like throw ice balls at you or whatever, and you can whatever the sand people giant monster is, you can shoot that and it'll run away. Like there's like interactive stuff that you can fuck around with. That's kind of fun. Like there's some fun stuff in there. Or what was it? The Yavin 4 level. If you go up to the top of the stairs, there's that golden ball that'll turn you gold if you touch it or whatever. There's some. I found interesting shit that you can find in there. So.
Yeah. There's definitely
a game.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
And in Leia's ending, she's rescued the snow speeder girls because they were apparently made dancers. So that's what she's doing in her ending. That's supposed to be the two people that have a snow speeder for some reason.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, if you see their bad ending, they become slaves. That's true.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I thought she was just, I don't know, just letting, whoever's being oppressed at Jabba's, just let them out. Like, that's what I thought. She's just trying to do, like, good work for, whoever's there. Just like here.
And there's a money system in this game, too. But characters you have to win over 10,000 during your little tournament mode. And you use money to repair your shield if you sit there. Or after a round, you'll have to pay to repair your ship. It just happens. You don't do anything. You just see your money go down. But
how that worked? Yeah, I guess I didn't.
Yeah,
maybe it shows that at the end, right? The stats or whatnot.
Yeah, and then if you your shield or your weapon energy during the match, you'll see your money tick down too. It'll charge for it.
Yeah,
and if you continue after you lose, you don't get any of the money back that you either.
Oh, so. Yeah, I didn't really pay attention to the money. Well, I mean, I already put in the code for the guys.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think that's something else that, like, if they wanted to make this a little bit more of a campaign or something, you could do a little bit more with the money system and upgrades and things that might be interesting. Depending on how it was done. I kind of like when I play a Need for Speed game and at first I suck. And then I get like a little bit better, and then I like make a little money, and I can, upgrade my car a little bit. As long as it's not too complicated, because I am car blind. So, and that applies to like how tires work and stuff too. So I prefer for those upgrades to just be bigger numbers.
Yeah, as long as you can tell like numbers go up, then
I want green meters and red meters so I know what is better. That's all.
Forza, I was trying to upgrade my car in one of the Forza Horizon 4 is what I had. And it was like, you can do this or you can do this. And I don't know what any of this means, and it sounds like it's all the same. Like I guess like specialized for different terrains or something, but this is too complicated.
It is, yes.
Yeah, number needs to go up. Number just needs to go up.
I mean, I like racing games that do that let you unlock stuff that'll make it better, or make your, unlockable cars that'll help you get through later.
I mean, it's just that video game loop of everything from that to like Dark Souls. It's like you get better at the game, and then also you get better gear, and so you can do fancier things. And I like that. I always like that loop, I like grind. I also like, I like grinding for experience and things and stuff like that. And if Star Wars Demolitions is at that, it would have been.
It would be a little nicer to have something. There's nothing. It's just a vehicular combat game.
It would probably be top 10 Star Wars games for the Dreamcast.
Yeah, not a lot on there. Like
no.
It's like, what is it? That and Power Battles, and there's probably there's the racing game too. I think I have that too. There's
probably the racing game. There's probably the regular Star Wars Episode 1 game on there.
I don't know.
That might have been too early.
The PlayStation one, the PlayStation 1 one.
Yeah.
I'll say, have you played that one? I heard that one's god awful too. I mean, it's probably worse than. I think this game is fine, really. I mean,
the narrative that I had always heard was that it was real bad, and then I said it was real bad to the wrong person, and they said no, yeah, that one's actually good. It's just different because it's more of an RPG where Jedi Power Battles is an action game. But like the narrative that I had heard was that it was so bad that they had to make Jedi Power Battles so that there was a Star Wars Episode 1 game.
I mean, because there was a good amount of Episode 1 games. Oh, you mean like for Dreamcast?
Like a game that told the whole story, that covered the whole movie. Like, yes, there was the racing games. I don't know. I've never played Battle for Naboo for Nintendo 64, but I don't know. That's just what some 12-year-old told me 25 years ago.
I like that game. I think the Battle for Naboo game is good, but it's another Factor 5 game, and they do really good stuff.
I have not heard very much about it, but what I have heard is that it was good. I've never heard that it was bad. I just I haven't played it.
I had a lot of fun with it.
Play it.
I had a lot of fun with it at the time when it came out after Episode 1. I was just looking up, for Dreamcast games, all we had was, Episode 1 Racer, Jedi Power Battles, and Demolition. Just three games. That's all we got.
Yeah. Dreamcast library is not the biggest.
Yeah, it wasn't. It went away too soon.
And I mean, people talk about like there were a million billion Star Wars games in that era. And I mean, there were, not that there weren't a lot, but there's not actually as many as maybe it seems like. And of those, it's like there's only so many that were memorable. Although most of I don't know. I don't know that I've played one that I would consider bad.
Have you played Yoda Stories on Game Boy?
I haven't played. So I think I bought Yoda Stories on Game Boy and it didn't, like the cartridge didn't work. So Game Boy games don't really count because a lot of them are barely games.
I have the Star Wars Game Boy game, which is the same as the NES one. It's just black and white. I have that one. I have Super Return of the Jedi for Game Gear, which is much worse than the Super Nintendo game. It's very bad. But I don't know. Some of those ones were okay. Like I have the Star Wars Game Boy Advance one was all right. Yeah, I got the Episode 2 Game Boy Advance game. That game was terrible.
I just I'm not gonna judge a franchise by its Game Boy games. I'm not saying there aren't good Game Boy games. There are a number of good Game Boy games. It's just that there's also a lot of Game Boy games that are barely games. It was a system that was out for a long time that was not very powerful. But yeah, and I mean Yoda Stories I think of as a Windows game, and I don't remember if I ever actually played it, but I remember my friends playing it and liking it.
Maybe it was a different one. I don't know.
No. I mean, it was also it was a Game Boy. There was a Game Boy Color port, so it's not even that it was primarily. It's not even that it was primarily a Yoda Stories, or that it was primarily a Game Boy game. So it was I'm sure it was not an ideal. I'm sure that's not the ideal way to play the game. But it's probably the only way you can play it now because it's almost impossible to play Windows 3.1 games.
Yeah. What happened? It's like, where'd you go, dude?
You ran away.
Just leave us to talk about Game Boy Star Wars.
So, shelf or box?
Yes, that's what. Shelf, stack, or box? Did you guys already do yours?
No.
Okay. We're waiting for you.
Okay, I'll start.
For you.
Yeah, we were just talking shit while you're gone.
I'll put this in the box because this game is garbage. and I hated it. So, yeah, going in the box. I don't have anything else. I thought it was awful. So, never want to play it again.
This is hard for me. This is hard for me because, on the one hand, I don't know where my copy of it is. So it's literally not on my shelf next to all my other PS1 games, including some questionable ones. But it's one of only a handful of Star Wars games that are on my handheld, on my handheld emulator. And it's one that I find myself coming back to. But it's more like, but I think the coming back to it is more like that feeling of when you are going through your stuff and you go through a random box that you haven't looked in a long time, and you find, hey, that's this thing. So I would say it's probably going to be a box in that sense.
Okay,
but like a light box.
Okay. And Trey.
So I'm gonna be like the nicest one on here to this game. No,
maybe.
I was going to do the middle one, the stack, because I have like my shelved games, but I kind of have this little stack in my closet here that keeps like my Dreamcast and PlayStation 1 games because I don't have many of those. So it's already in a stack, both versions of it. So there you go. I put it in a stack. One thing that was fun was, I haven't played my Dreamcast in a really long time, so it was nice to play the Dreamcast again and see that it still works. That's what I do. That's what I do for your show, Mike. I try to play these on their original console.
I know, and I appreciate that.
I always say I'm going to, and then
I don't know how to get a Dreamcast emulator that works.
Yeah, I have, but I can.
But also, I
can.
had 2 copies of this game, so I didn't really have to do anything aside from just find it and play it.
Actually, Dreamcast emulations on these little handheld are like they're actually surprisingly good. Like I can't run N64 games on this thing, but I can run Dreamcast games. Mm-hmm. It's weird.
It's a lot harder than it should be.
But I will just say, like, when I think about shelf, stack, and box, for me, shelf is like top, 3 to 5 games of a given category. Although I may have been on a previous episode and been like, all Star Wars games are good, but I don't think
probably.
So
you might. Who knows?
I don't know. I definitely probably said that about Pokemon, but I'm only ever on Pokemon and Star Wars games.
Yes.
But anyway, like the shelf is like top 5 of the category, and this is like not quite top 5. And then the stack is like the stuff that I don't necessarily want to display, but that do keep coming back to play. And the box is where I once every 5 to 10 years pull the game out and have a great time for an afternoon, and then put it away and don't ever come back to it for another 5 years. It's in no way is this a negative. If I was given this a 1 to 10 video game score, I'd probably give it like a 7 or an 8. Yeah.
I'd give it a 7 for sure.
This is like
give it a 3.
This is probably in my all-time top 50 games of all time.
It's my number one. It's my number one Star Wars vehicular combat. It's number one for that. It's way better than all the other ones that don't exist. So yeah, it's a great Twisted Metal style game.
All right.
It's better. It's my number one Twisted Metal style. I'll give you that.
It's probably the one I played. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say it's probably the one I played the longest. But I think when I was in college and I rented Vigilante 8, I did really try to get into that, and I did try to play Twisted Metal on my friend's PlayStation 1 or whatever, and I was just like, game is dumb. Whatever.
True.
So I don't want to. Just because I'm boxing, it doesn't mean I love it.
All right, we should
and it's the game that made me love Aura Singh, which is great, which is key. It's super important. Like that is very important to me. If you are the Star Wars thing that made me fall in love with a Star Wars character, like that is a big deal because Star Wars is real freaking important in my life. Like it is. I spend many hours a week Star Warsing.
Yeah, you're still hanging on to it. I'm on the other side. I've fallen off. I was one that it meant everything to me until like any of the movies that aren't the main trilogy just took me farther and farther away from it. Now I just don't care anymore. Actually, the main one I think was Force Awakens that really broke me, but that's for another episode.
Not Rise of Skywalker.
Because I hated that movie so much, and everybody else loved it, and some people stopped talking to me about that because I didn't like it. So I was like, "Fuck you."
That's a dumb reason not to talk to somebody. I like that movie, but I don't care.
I hated it.
It was. I will say that Force Awakens that definitely made me question some things. Luckily, basically everything that's come out since I've enjoyed. So and I also retroactively enjoy the Force Awakens. And also I'm more like okay with just enjoying the old stuff too. Like, take what I like and leave what I don't. And
Sure.
and I know and I don't say that as like a better than, because there are other fandoms that I have thrown in because of stuff that stuff that I couldn't get over, and I don't think there's anything like that. But luckily I've found a way, and it's basically by regularly engaging with the new stuff more than, and by new stuff I mean also old stuff, but regularly engaging with the actual content rather than spending all my time arguing about whether or not this movie that I liked more than other people or this movie that I liked less than other people, because I have different opinions. But like, it just engage, like if I get into a really bad argument on Reddit or something like that, I'm like, screw this, I'm gonna read a comic book instead. I'm gonna
don't argue people on the internet.
I'm gonna engage with the self instead of engage with people who are claiming to have engaged. If that makes sense.
I mean, what I've realized is the best thing. You're never going to convince that Joe random person on comments or Reddit or whatever about your own feelings. So it's best to just not comment or fight on anything.
Not try.
That's how I feel. I just don't. I'm like, I don't care. I don't know this person. This person is never gonna
right
even read my comment or care like what I'm saying or whatever. So don't even bother with it. Just read comics. Don't comment on Reddit. That's what I'm saying in general. Stay off Reddit.
Yeah.
Right,
well. Yeah.
Let's go to plugs. Trey, where people find you at?
No, there's not comments. Hi, I'm Trey. You can find me at Nintendo Main. There's a lot of episodes that we have. We're at 481 episodes right now of Nintendo Main. Talking a lot of Switch 2 stuff. And Donkey Kong Bonanza. What a hell of a game. That was a banger. It's a game of the year.
Plug in that obscure indie title.
Donkey Kong Bonanza. Yeah, no one's heard of that one yet, right? I still haven't beat it yet, but I've been enjoying it a lot. It's good stuff.
Kendall.
So you find everything I do at kendallcast.ninja. In particular, go to Kendallcast on YouTube. I just made speaking of Star Wars, I just made a stop motion short of me building the Boba Fett's throne room Lego set while I was playing Jedi Rocks on ukulele. Speaking of things that I like that is a Lego set from the Book of Boba Fett and a song from the special edition. And lots of fun stuff. Movie roundtable, poll list. I just posted our review of Superman and DC New Frontier and of June and July for this year with that I do with my buddy Jared. But yeah, all that's on kendallcast.ninja and the Kendallcast YouTube.
If you want to hear the rest of our Star Wars content, there's a ton of it. It will all be in the show notes. We have over 800 episodes of this podcast. Everything we do is on Podbean. If you want to support the show, we do have Patreon. Little Darling vote in our Patreon poll, and we're always happy to join that and support the show if you enjoy it. We also have a Discord. If you want to be on the show, if you want to suggest things for the show, join Discord. It's free. We're always happy to see you new faces there. And while you're shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy Helena at Hell Has Freak, follow her on TikTok and Instagram, and check out A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. And also check out absolutely the best podcast, A Work in Progress. He talks about the movies and MCU adjacent movies. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, audio only. I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.